Hi guys, welcome to this video. The topic of the video, well, first I always start with what system is this? This is Plasma. And the topic of the video is the release article. So we've written the release article, and the point is that whenever we put something out there, we show you guys what changed. So the last release was in January, mid-January, and the next release is for a few days on. It's for the 13th of March. And this is me going over all the little details, so you just do not only type update and up all and maybe a scal, but also know what's going on with your machines. And the idea is always in ArcoLinux and ArcoLinux is the same, to stay rolling. Always update, 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 and never install. But of course, Linux can of course crash from time to time because configurations, you try out some stuff and you say good riddance and let's start again from scratch. But the point is of this particular distribution is that you really stay rolling. And that video has been created already and is already in this release article. So the second video in these release articles is what's new, and let's go over the details. I start with the most important thing that happened that we figured out in January. We already started with that. We had a ISO that had no XF86 video Intel on the ISO and one that had it, right? So two of them, we released two ISOs of the same flagship, one with and one without. And what we've learned the last 2 months is that we actually do not require any of these XF86 video elements. And here they are. They all are. They're from ArcoLinux and not from us. And they used to be on our ISO. So if you go back to 2020, one of those releases, all these drivers are on there and didn't pose us any problem, didn't cause us any problem. But in the beginning of January, well, December, January, we had these rumors that if we removed XF86 video Intel, that we had again a bootable system. And we did find something on the Arch wiki here, and that's an image recommending not installing the XF86 video Intel. But we went a little bit further and we thought, let's just get rid of all of these guys and just work with the kernel. So the Linux kernel is booting up and is taking care of the graphics. And if you do need it, well, you just click on calamaris or install later on when you boot up in a black screen, probably then, and say sudo pacman -s and xf86, etc. But my first point is select the drivers in calamaris if needed, but first try without drivers. I have here 13 PCs. None of them require any driver at all. So none of these guys are on my machines anymore. They just work straight out of the kernel. And if you require NVIDIA, you need to install NVIDIA anyway, or the Video Nouveau if you like. So this guy. So it's a bold choice. We'll see what the future will bring, right? But it's not on the ISO, but during installation in calamaris, you'll just get a long list of all these guys, and you just select anything, and then it will be installed on your future system if you need it. So that's the message about the drivers, and it is actually it goes together with the issue we had with LightYAM, which is very strange, but kernels change, the content changes, and suddenly we found that even though we had these strange crashes, and that was because of either that the XF86 video Intel was there or was not there. So it was installing it would make it work again and stuff like that. The thing is, we discovered that SSDM is not that fragile. So when we had a broken system, we could LightDM was broken, so they say. It was not LightDM that was broken, it was the knowledge behind it, the driver XF86 Video Intel. That was the cause of the problem. So either you installed it and everything worked again, or you uninstalled it and it was broken. And now I switched to SSDM as a test. What happens? Everything was working again. The driver was there or was not there, right? It's just, it depends what hardware you have. You either need it or you don't need it. And it's there, it broke LightDM. So the thing is, we felt the need to jump ship. I say, okay, if SSDM is more sturdy, less prone to these problems, let's go to SSDM and let's forget about LightDM. So that's a major switch as well. We have now SSDM as display manager, as login manager, and which is awesome, because if you know a little bit about SSDM, you know that there are like hundreds of themes out there, and it's actually for Plasma, but who cares? Because SSDM works for the 21 desktops that we have without any issues. So it's up to you. If you choose LightDM, GDM and all that, it's a free world. But we as ArcoLinux, we say we jump ship because of it's less fragile for users installing the wrong drivers or not having the right drivers. So that's our choice. At this point in time, we'll have SSDM and the packages ArcoLinux, LightDM, GTK Greeter and GTK Greeter settings will phase out and will not maintain them. We'll just use the LightDM GTK Greeter from ArcoLinux and the Light GTK Greeter settings from ArcoLinux. And we'll jump ship, like I said, go to SSDM, and with our default greeter, but we have already a few of them, I'll show you later on, themes, greeters that you can use. So this will be used for all 21 desktops, Sugar Candy, and you can click here on the session and you see all our 21 desktops like that, and you can choose what you like. All right, I hope that makes sense. It's experience based, right? So okay, let's move to SSDM. Less people get stuck into a black screen, the better for everybody. And since there are so many lovely themes as well, why not? In Plasma, of course, you have your Plasma system, your system settings for Plasma, and you can edit easily SSDM and get more themes in it. But with the other 20 desktops, we have this SSDM config editor git, which is this tool here, where you can quickly change the theme with a drop down, and you can select elements here, the cursor is here, etc, etc. So elements can be changed with this, although there is also an alias to quickly change it and do it by hand, just typing, because a graphical user interface is nothing more than a pass through to a file on your system somewhere. And yes, we have made sure that the look is nice, so quantum settings are applied. And we also have made sure that it's in, for example, this is an image of the system settings in XFCE. It's there. And then the examples, right? The SSDM slice is a name. So I went through the internet and I took a look at the best, what I think are the best, of course, personal idea, the best themes. And you choose other themes. There are hundreds, like I said, there are many, many themes. But we need to maintain it. There should be low print and in file and megabytes, and also in application dependencies and all that. So SSDM slice is one of them. And you log in, very black, very minimal, very nice, I think. And it comes to, it becomes special when you install more desktops. This is like a roulette. You scroll through it and it goes up and down all the way around. If you have only XFC, you just see one thing here, but otherwise you'll see all these things just move up and down. That's interesting, that's fun. SSDM Futuristic is one. So none of these themes are from me. They are from somewhere else. We've took the code, we investigated the code, we changed the code, we added some configurations and we put it on our own GitHub, and it's now an ArcoLinux SSDM Futuristic. Right? So all copyright and all work and credits go to the developers, of course. We just made small changes and make it nice. I think I've changed something down here, sizes, fonts, and all that. SSDM Red Rock, another one. ArcoLinux SSDM Urban Style. This used to be called this thing, but since we made so many themes, an SSDM theme is not a name, so it's coming from Fralon Ra, all credits to him, and we've called it his name, given it his name. The sugar candy, you know, but there were some things there are lots of settings. These themes, if you go and investigate, you'll see it's like small programs, small applications, these themes. And one of the configurations was do not show the password, so display the characters when typing the password. SSDM Chili is here, and then we're at the next topic. The next topic is super interesting. Why? Well, the planning is a bit strange, but between the building of all our ISOs and, well, the release of the ISOs, we got the idea, what if we make an ArcoLinux calamaris tool? For what reason? Well, we have many things in our head, but for one thing already is change the preferred file system. We always choose ext4 by default. If you want to send it, change it, then you need to go to a manual installation and so on. I believe it started in the new project ALCI, so ArcoLinux Calamaris installer, that I had this idea. It's actually super easy to change Calamaris to take BTRFS as standard formatting. And hence the idea grew to have an alias to change it, done that, and now this here. Have an application to change in the live environment what you want. Because the option is not available in Calamaris. So before you install Calamaris, and there are videos about all this, is that you select BTRFS, XFS, JFS, Riser, or the standard ext4. So don't want to change anything, you don't need to be here. ext4 will be the default, always. Okay. And I said here we have 40 possible configurations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 formats, and later on 4 choices is 20, encrypted or not encrypted is 40. We have 40 ways of creating an operating system. So due to timing, the ArcoLinux flagship and the ArcoLinux D, which should also be in bold, have the new ArcoLinux calamaris tool on board. So you'll see this extra button here. All the B's have been tested by us beta testers, AAG people. So everything has been, lots of time and energy went into testing it. So we've frozen the B's and they do not have it. All right, but there is a video, get the ArcoLinux calamaris tool on the ArcoLinux B ISOs. You can still get it. One, yeah, go build it. That's the reason why we have B's. We shouldn't download it, you should build it basically. But if that's not yet the way you want to do it, then you can follow the video, this video down here, to get the update in, and basically with showing you what to do to get this new welcome in and to get the application in. All right, just 4 installations on the live DVD and done. So that's for, I think, a major change, and I put on YouTube also a video telling guys, come and test this, right? Come and test this BTRFS. That's basically the question I asked there. Come and have a look. Format your system in BTRFS. time shift, start it up, see if you like it. Time shift is not installed on this one, no. So, and then some other applications, and let's give us feedback, right? Do you like that combo? Next thing we've done, oh yeah, that's still the ArcoLinux B here. That's long overdue, but hey, I had to learn GTK, I had to learn Python, and at the end I figured out how I can make a backup as well when you say here in ArcoLinux Tweak Tool install i3, that it will back up. Here it says we will back up and overwrite the .config when installing desktops. And here's your backup. It has the name ATT, ArcoLinux Tweak Tool. So if you were thinking of installing desktops, we need to get in your home directory. There is no Qtile that's going to work without any configuration, right? So we need to get in there and we need to copy paste things in there. But to make sure you do not overwrite things that you say, oh my God, it's all gone, right? We have this folder that is going to be the backup. And you know the drill. You select these two folders, right mouse click, compare, and you get your stuff back in. Or just by copy pasting folders in, and it's done again. So basically remember, if you install desktops, you get a backup file, folder. Then the ArcoLinux Tweak Tool, this gave, what's all this white thing here? Let's reload this page. Ah, there it is. Lazy load, it's called. We have here ArcoLinux Tweak Tool. This is a real domino effect. At some point in time we have an idea, and then we going to use it because it's a great idea, but then it results in all kinds of changes. So at some point in time we said, hey, I think Peter was stopping with his repos, right? That was Bobo repo. So okay, then I heard about Celtic. I heard about it years ago, but I said, why not add Celtic's repo Garuda? Yeah, it says Garuda when you click on this, because that's where the packages for Garuda are. Enable Celtic's repo, just a click away, and we've got all the packages, kernels, you name it. We can have a look, or you can have a look, that's better maybe. See what packages are built on an hourly and daily basis. You'll have access to the Garuda packages, the Linux Xanmod. There are over 200 kernels you can install, right? Not enough time to test them all. But because of that, it's now easy to install Linux kernels. And here are some examples. Linux Xanmod headers, Linux Xanmod, you see here examples. We can now just easily install because of the Celtic AOR that we have now. Now, packages work always with a repository. There is a package, package 1, but also with a signing key, the key from Celtic. So both of these things are necessary. Now, in the release of January, what we did, and I admit it was not smart, basic mistake, is that we added the Pacman init service, like it's coming from ArcoLinux, to the ISO. And it's much better that you manage your files and folders through, of course, a package. So we have added ArcoLinux systemd service that used to be a long time ago. We used to have this package for reflector service, and you know, reflector has changed a lot the last months. It's a little bit slower, but ArcoLinux systemd services now only holds, for now, right, Pacman init service. We initialize the Pacman keys. It's all about keys. The Pacman knows, okay, this guy can be trusted. We are going to load up. We see the images here. We're going to get rid of everything. Init is get rid of all the keys, initialize again. populate ArchLinux, populate ArcoLinux, still okay, still normal, but this one is not on your ISO from January, so maybe not on your PC now. So we've made a little script for that, so that's that can be fixed. It only matters if you ever want to install anything from Celtic. Otherwise, don't bother, right? If you say Celtic is not my thing, and stay away, that's entirely up to you. You have here the script to run, and the video is already online. How, what will happen, and how to do it. So that's the stay rolling script as a video. Okay, have I said everything? Okay. So this is let's maybe look at the commands here. Systemctl, status, Pacman init service, all normal. This is a normal look. And here we're signing keys. Celtic is here, and everything is good. And we can quickly, well, every time this thing here, this service, is going to be launched every day. Every single time you boot up, which in my case is just once a day, but every time you boot up, it's gonna be throwing everything away and loading everything back in. And if you don't have the Celtic key, you'll have issues installing elements with your ATT, ArcoLinux TUI tool. So here are all kernels, lots of kernels. I've made some videos about it, and it's in a nice playlist. I believe there were four already. Yeah, 4 articles, 4 videos just about Celtic, and let's put them all together so you can have a look at playlists. PS, I took a look at playlists. I think it was over 200 playlists. So YouTube is bad at searching things, but if you already have a selection, when you're looking for update videos or looking for polybar videos and stuff like that, I put my videos in playlists. So it's all about conkeys, or it's all about NVIDIA, it's all about kernels. So do think about that playlists are interesting. Yeah, I've made contact with the guys in Belgium. Belnet is one of the major fiber networks in Belgium, and they host packages for ArcoLinux and Ubuntu or whatever. And I mailed them and immediately got a response. Of course, we want to host your ISOs and packages and all that. So we've updated your mirror list, the ArcoLinux mirror list. We put some data, some extra information to it. So if you download from here, it's from Amsterdam. If you download from here, it's Brussels. And GitHub seems to be in San Francisco, if I'm right, because that might change. They might have mirrors. Anyway, we have now a complete copy. That's basically it. It's a copy from SeatHost. And you can download your ISOs from here as well. And since it's in here, we can also download our packages from there. If SeatHost is down, it will download from Belnet. If that's down, it will download from here. That's how it works. Okay, and then we're already at the general improvement. So those are important things, but minor things, minor changes. Like at some point in time, with all the updates 3 years long, none of these guys gave us issues, and suddenly there were issues, and we had to look for the reason why. And at some point in time, we found, that's the reason. So if you did your updates and you did your scal, you will see that your firewall is going to launch, Timeshift will launch, and open as root, right mouse click in Tuner, in etc, Lightim or something, and in a hidden folder, you can open as root for Tuner. We're using now the calamaris version 3.237. You can have a look there. We had some issues with this bBata cursor theme, package building issues, and at some point in time, the theme bin was much better and maintained and faster and so on. I said, okay, let's get rid of the bBata cursor theme package and get the binary in, the bin version in, which is still the same cursor, of course. We've made some aliases. Since we're changing to SSDM and you're rolling, you might wanna first make backups. You always have to make backups before you do major things. But if you want to go and follow us to SSDM, it's just a simple command, an alias. And the same applies if you want to go back to LightDM, to LightDM. And here you will see an example. When you type to LightDM up here, it's going to install LightDM GTK Greeter. So no ArcoLinux version, it's the ArchLinux version. And here it says LightDM is active, reboot now. Here we go to SSDM, it's going to install SSDM and say SSDM is active, reboot now. Simple alias, but again, all of this started, all these black screens started with the XF86 video Intel not working. Probably also with the kernels as a reason, but not sure there. And now we have an alias NSDDM. We created a new alias called let's edit this file. etc SSDM conf is where everything is. The settings for SSDM might be different on Plasma. Maybe another video is required there. But in Plasma you have a graphical interface. You do everything there. But if you want to type and change things, it's in here. And SSDM is basically nano SSDM. And you can change your theme. Here is the Vibata Modern Ice, and the theme will be somewhere there as well, if we can still see it. I'm not seeing it right now. Oh, here it is. ArcoLinux Chili. That's the current theme. And then some commands. We remember the reflector. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the development of reflector, but we try to find something new, something better, something faster to get the best ArchLinux servers, because it's nothing to do with ArcoLinux really. It is a way to find out of thousands of servers, maybe let's say 500 servers, to find out what's the fastest for me in Belgium, what's the fastest for me in China, and so on. That's the point of this application reflector. So 2 new aliases to find out if that is working for you guys. Okay, I see here an image, but no title. So I don't think anything changed here, but OpenTuner as root, and we've put in between, how do I say that? I don't know what is called these things, brackets, yeah. We have put that's an ArcoLinux thing, and maybe it's missing a title here, so next time you visit the page, I'll put a title there. But that's one of the things we wanted to have. And even Dolphin, we can open Tuner then as root, because that one lets us do it. Dolphin is really hard-coded not to do it, or you need to build stuff like that. I believe it has been done on Gen 2. Saturday Surfing and so on. Of course, every time there's an icon that's missing, we will make a beautiful icon for it, or change the name again. And last time XFC had a major change. 30 icons or so were changed in name, and we had to follow that up. Another change is the desktop session. That's of course not important, you think. So why is a variable important? Because when you do super X, you get the logout, the ArcoLinux logout. And we're looking for names, desktops, X session. And then we do something. If this, then that, right? So yeah, it's important. So all the other desktops have been checked as well. So the ArcoLinux logout, the super X in the tiling window managers will work just fine now. And this is actually something that should not really be in the text, but it did cost me, well, to develop the project itself. It was 6 hours, so an afternoon and an evening, and ALCI was ready. But then of course it's the website and stuff like that. At some point in time I got this idea. Well, basically I was bored installing ArcoLinux all the time. The long way around. The, yeah, ArcoLinuxD.com, the archway, is interesting, but once you know it, and if you do it for the hundredth time, right? So phase 5, archway, phase 1, those are the ArcoLinux way of installation. So the wiki, follow that, and then a little bit twist of our own. This is, the idea here is, let's put calamaris on the ArcoLinux ISO. As little as possible have an impact. And as virgin, as well, get the ArcoLinux feeling on your machine. Keep as close possible to the original idea of ArcoLinux ISO. And of course, and if you are creating these packages, this new project, ALCI, ArcoLinux Calamaris Installer, why not indeed add Plasma to that particular ISO? And this is what you get. You get an ArcoLinux with Plasma, with maybe SSDM or LightDM, and right? So the ideas were flowing then, and anything was possible. So if you want to learn more about that, I haven't put a link in there, I see. I will put a link in there. This is a separate project, and I think this probably gonna be the last time. Well, no, probably not. This is a separate website, so a separate project altogether, just by me, for me, because I want to have a fast ArcoLinux installation. Why? Because I always need to compare. What's happening on ArcoLinux when I do this? What's happening on ArcoLinux when I do this? What's happening, right? Comparing is the only way to learn. And that's why I need something fast, to install it the fast way. And for me, that's ArcoLinux Calamaris Installer. Click, click, click. Install. 6 screens later. Where are my... Pardon. Oh yeah, by the way, I've tried it to install, to build it on all these guys. Any of these guys well, deserves your attention. It's all based on ArcoLinux, right? All good distros. What I was going to say is the image. Where's the images? Where did I put my images? Oh my god. Here they are. 6 screens later, and you boot into ArcoLinux. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. You know the look of Calamaris, and this of course is a minimal look. Less, as small as possible, a footprint. So no fonts, nothing, no design, whatever. Okay, so that's that project. You can have a look there. We've also been looking at a new, not the tiling window manager, but a new, well, desktop. v21.03 is the one we're looking at, and I'm showing you something, but it's still pretty beta, and anything can still change in layout and look and all that. But this is what we've been up to, so it's always good to see behind the scenes what are we doing, and we'll see when we release it in the future. So what is new video? We are creating that one now, so I'll replace this one. And how to stay rolling video has been created and is already there, and it's in 2 parts. Hi guys, welcome to this. Right? The keep rolling 1 to 2, and here is the keep rolling 2 to 2. So I checked the code again, and I've made a binary. So super shift enter. Binary stay rolling 2021. These 2 guys are in that video. So if you want to stay rolling and you want to stay, well, pretty close to the ISO, not 100% maybe, but pretty close to the ISO, this is what we do. We just run scripts, run applications, and in this case that's about the Pacman init service. That's about the Celtic keyring that has to be in there if you want to install stuff from Celtic. All right, I believe that's concludes the video here. We have here, the rest is the standard information to pinpoint where you live. And if you want to have details about how we built everything. But then again, guys, arclinuxb.com, that's where we built everything. Don't wait for us. Start building already. It's just a few clicks away. ArcoLinux. One advantage of building your ISO and not downloading it will be, this time around, build your own ISO, will be that you will have the extra tool on there. It will be on there by default if you build it. The ArcoLinux calamaris tool. Let's have a look. Calamaris tool. So this one. It will be on there because you build it. You have the latest code online and you'll have ArcoLinux calamaris tool as well. All right, I'm out. Enjoy ArcoLinux, and remember, if you can support us, please do so. You can have a button at the arcolinux.info. Donation is one thing. Money is always good, but there is also some gadgets we can buy, polos you can buy, and shop, or become a patron, which is actually better for us because then we have a fixed income every month, and we can have an idea. Okay, we can be certain that we'll have that income, so we can spend the money wisely that you provide us. All right, enjoy ArcoLinux, enjoy our learning, because I think that's our selling point. All the videos, all the knowledge we share, and well, enjoy you. Cheers.